in another zone. Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
They run with a Hall of Famer, Sanders. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to say?
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
Now, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Delay of game, offense.
That's going to set them back 5 yards. After the delay, they're backed up even further for 3rd and long. Here's Vick off the play fake for Sanders. Out to his left. Throw left side complete. It's Gonzalez. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Coming up at halftime in a little less than 2 minutes, we'll send you to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman is standing by. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half. They go play action here on 1st down. Flush to his right. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however, and let's see what that's about.
Illegal forward pass, offense.
So he was past the line of scrimmage when he threw it.
And as they say, that's a no-no. Got to be able to understand where you are on the field and not cross the line before throwing the ball downfield.
To throw, Vick. Flushed out, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Daniil Hunter in there to bring him down for a loss of 7.
Well, this is what happens when you get behind the chains, as people like to say. When you have obvious passing situations, hard to vary it up and fool the defense.
And you hate those situations if you're an open. And the pressure gets to him again. Ben Gideon, he's the one to get in this time. And back-to-back sacks are going to bring up a 4th down.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long, why are you calling play action?
Yeah, because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking. But to me, it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and it leads to a play action sack. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. The decision to go for it doesn't pan out. And the Vikings defense is going to get the football back.
Everyone gears up for 3rd down, talks about the importance of it. But 4th down, that's truly the moment of truth play, isn't it?
Everything's dialed up a little bit more. And, you know, it's such a momentum play, isn't it?
Absolutely, because it can flip either way, depending on who converts.
Throwing to start the drive. And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. It's 2nd and 10. Throwing again, Cousins on 2nd and 10. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And now maybe maybe they want some extra time to talk about this third and long play as we'll get a timeout. As the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. So the offense took the timeout. Looks like they're ready to go as we get set to resume the action. The Vikings on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Now a give. This is Murray. No gain on the play there. Nice job defensively. And it likely forces a punt situation on 4th. Here's Ryan Quigley now as he'll kick it away for the second time. And Sanders now to return. So we've reached halftime. And okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it. Both teams have... Here ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. On 1st and 10, Cousins. And that'll be incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. And they work this well upfield across the 45. And a nice gain at 21 yards.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football.
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
Cousins now on 2nd down. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a 1st down there.
If you're running out route, it's likely you end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player. You threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes
into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the 13-time Pro Bowler Ray Lewis. And a great return as he takes us up just shy of the 45. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
That'll be caught by Rice. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there. Well, they brought the pressure, and that meant man coverage behind him, so he's still able to complete the pass.
Even as he took the hit. And that's what you have to do, because I was just talking with a coach the other day, and he said, look, it's not always going to be pretty back there. You're going to have to give me completions. Even when you're taking some hits, sometimes you have to be your own blitz control, for lack of a better term. Got to make completions, step up, and make those throws, and he did that. I know some people express surprise when Barry Sanders catches the football because his rushing numbers get most of the attention, but he also contributed in his career in the passing game like we just saw there.
Yeah, he had nearly 3,000 career receiving yards, and I think that gets overshadowed by the over 15,000 rushing yards that Mr. Sanders had. A very solid gain of 27. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme, and you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
2nd and goal from the 1. Vick on the sneak, and this will be a touchdown. Michael Vick scoring on the sneak from a yard out. And the Madden Legends will extend their lead. A good, sustained drive there in this 3rd quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2. Because once they threw the interception and finished off, that doesn't